Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley, and we're coming at you from downtown Los Angeles. We are just steps away from E3, the biggest gaming show in the world, and we're going to be right here for the next 8 hours, day 2, non-stop coverage of the biggest announcements from the show, the PlayStation press conference, the Ubisoft press conference. Now, yesterday, we talked to the folks behind Call of Duty, Anthem, Soul Calibur, and Kingdom Hearts, and today, we've got Just Cause, Rage, Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider, Destiny, and Death Stranding, of course. Hideo Kojima live on set. We'll have the full press conferences, exclusive guests, brand new demos, let's plays from the biggest streamer in the world, Ninja. He'll be here at this computer playing with Marshmello in Fortnite and so much more. What are we waiting for? Let's get right to it. I'm Jeff Keighley, and this is YouTube Live at E3, and it starts right now. Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome to YouTube Live at E3, your home base, your nerve center, your one-stop shop for all things gaming. We're going to be here all day, 8 hours of E3 right here on YouTube. Yesterday, we had Bethesda. We had an amazing press conference from Xbox. Today, we've got press conference from Ubisoft in just 1 hour, and Sony PlayStation. We're going to recap Square Enix's presentation this morning. We've got the first gameplay of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That'll be coming up. We've got A-listers like Marshmello coming by, Todd Howard from Bethesda Game Studios. He'll be here in just a few minutes. Troy Baker and Nolan North, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot. Hideo Kojima will be with me live. We've got basketball stars Josh Hart and De'Aaron Fox, YouTubers Typical Gamer, Ali A, Vicstar, and of course, Boogie will be back with us again. It was great to have him yesterday. He'll be here in studio, and we've got an extended takeover by the biggest streamer in the world, Ninja. He will be here in just a couple of hours playing Fortnite all afternoon, and also Donald Mustard, the worldwide creative director of Epic Games, will be here exclusively to talk about all things Fortnite. We have an amazing jam-packed day. If you thought yesterday was great, today I think is going to be just as good. All right, well, just like yesterday, we're going to be monitoring what you guys have to say on social media throughout the day to find out what you're talking about related to E3. So tweet us using the hashtag YouTubeE3 with your reactions, questions for our guests like Todd Howard, and anything else that's on your mind, and you might be part of our live show that is streaming around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. I promise you today is going to be a great day. Well, let's check out all the E3 hype that you've been sharing online since yesterday. All right, the song you just heard was Tell Me, the latest track from Marshmello. He's going to be with us live and in person in just a couple of hours later on the show, playing Fortnite with Ninja. They will be going together as a duo in the Fortnite Pro-Am that'll be happening tomorrow live right here on YouTube down at the Bank of California Stadium. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Now, Square Enix had their press conference earlier this morning, and we want your reactions, so tweet us. Kotaku was not a fan of it. I was just reading their review of it. But if you have any thoughts, use the hashtag YouTubeE3, and we'll show off some of your responses in just a few moments. Now, yesterday was a very big day, and one of the major reasons was because of Bethesda's press conference. And we're going to start things off with a man who dropped the mic, picked it up, and dropped it a couple more times yesterday. Todd Howard from Bethesda Game Studios.
Great to see you again, Jeff.
It's great to see you, Todd. I got to say, we knew that you were probably going to be on stage yesterday talking Fallout 76, but you just kind of decided to up the ante with like a lot more one more things. Was that always the plan, to just kind of say like, here's everything we're doing?
I don't know that it was always the plan. We kind of got there. We're doing so many things.
Yeah.
And traditionally we would say, let's focus on this. But our fans kind of, you know, they find a lot of things we're doing and they want to know. And so we just talked about it like, let's just be upfront and say, here's what we're doing, because we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And we think, you know, all of our fans are as well. So it was, let's just get it all out there and let everybody know what we're doing.
Yeah, well, because I remember it was a couple years ago on this show where you sort of talked about, you know, your longer-term philosophy for the studio, and that, you know, you were going to do the Elder Scrolls 6 after this other mystery game that was sort of in between. So I guess we now know what that mystery game is?
Yes, it's Starfield,
okay.
Which is incredibly exciting for us. We've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's one of those things where even though we're announcing it, there'll be a time, obviously, where we really show it off and dig deep, and that'll be closer to its release.
Right, because that's the thing is you announced them, but he said it really was just a logo resolve, and there's not a lot. You said it was, I think, is a next-generation single-player experience, is what you're saying about it, right?
Yes, yes.
Does that mean it's single-player only? It won't have online? Like you're focusing that on just a single-player experience?
Its focus is single-player. Whether it has some social connection, you know, I don't know. I don't want to guess right now.
Okay.
But that's our focus for that game.
It's not one of these share world games we get to follow, but it's very much like your next big epic single player.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. Amazing. So, I mean, tell me for you and sort of, you know, you look at your time, how you're sort of, you know, you've got 3 studios now in BGS. I mean, where are you focusing your time right now?
I tend to, look, first of all, we have a great team.
Yeah.
And I've worked with a lot of these people. You know, the average time is over a decade, and they really know their stuff. So it doesn't take me kind of digging in the weeds on everything.
Yeah.
I tend to spend my time up front when we're doing a game, you know, creatively, what is this going to be? And then as it's coming in, you know, Fallout 76 right now is dominating our studio's bandwidth because that's the game that's coming out, and we have more people on that project than we've ever had on any project. But then the mobile game, Blades, is, it's amazing, and that's an awesome team. Most of them are in Montreal, but we also do work in Rockville on that game. Yeah. And that's fun to do as well. So for me right now, I'm still a kid in a candy store. You know, I get to look at all of these games and work with all of these amazing people.
But is it transitional for you? Because I mean, I think for many times your team, you were focused on kind of one project. It was all in 100% on that. And now you've got, I mean, it feels like 4 or 5 things that are sort of competing for attention.
Well, the other thing is, I think it's from the outside. It's viewed one way. We always overlapped. You know, Oblivion into Fallout 3, into Skyrim, into Fallout 4, and then Fallout Shelter, and doing VR versions. And so this is just, it's a larger scale of that, but it's the same, where we'll do pre-production with a smaller amount of people until the game is really there. And then when we enter production, we move the bulk of the studio to that game, but not all of the studio. And then as it's, you know, coming in to get finishing for shipping, that's where our focus is.
So would you say, I mean, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, are they in production now?
I would say Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production, and Starfield is in production. It's a game we've been making for a while.
Well, okay, so you're able to play Starfield now.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's a good way to say it. Starfield is playable. Elder Scrolls 6, not in that way yet.
Now, when you were on the show a couple years ago, Elder Scrolls 6, you said that, I think something along the lines, someone reminded me on Twitter last night, that the technology wasn't there yet for the game you wanted to build when you said this thing was 2 years ago on the show.
Yes.
Is the technology there now?
It's getting closer.
Okay. What is your vision? I'm sure you don't want to say a lot about it, but I mean, what's the type of technology that you were looking to bring to life to be able to make?
I don't want to spoil anything yet. I think the teasers that we put out they're kind of A, announcing the game, and B, ones of tone. You know, how does the game feel? You know, hints at where it's set for both of them, both Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6.
Okay, well, Starfield, we know. Space, I guess, seems like some kind of
space. It is space,
something. I mean, Elder Scrolls 6, I'm sure the fans have been tearing apart. Even the music, it feels like. I mean, there's a little bit of info there, right?
It'll
have a subtitle at some point.
It will at some point. Even for us, though, putting that, you know, redoing that music and putting it up there, even we get we get goosebumpy. Like, we can't wait, you know, to have everybody be able to play this game. But that's us, too. We want to play.
I say that kind of creates, like, it's almost a tone, sort of rallying call for the team, I'm sure, too. Because it's like, you know,
1,000%, 1,000%.
Like, I mean, such a beautiful image. And again, not much more than that, but you see this. And
there's some things there to pick apart, but we'll let our fans do that.
I'm sure the rewinds are already happening. All right, well, that's the future. We're really excited that and even for you, you know, this is, I'm sure, you know, the next number of years of your life, thinking of, like, all these games and all these projects.
You know, as you get on, it's kind of, you do it for a long time, and you think, well, what are all the games I want to make? Well, let's just do it. You know, life is short. So that's kind of been my attitude lately.
Well, let's talk Fallout 76 because that is coming out this year, and you gave an amazing presentation. You're such a master at sort of
Thank you.
encapsulating
I
all
learned from
this.
you.
Oh, stop, please.
On stage.
Well, it was really special, and I wanted to, a lot of people online had a lot of questions about the game. Just so people know, it's not playable here at E3. So sort of what we saw is what we saw, right?
Correct.
But a lot of people are kind of wondering now, the fact that you're doing more of this sort of share world experience, and you said, hey, you can play solo, but a lot of people were asking me, it's like, can I play offline?
You cannot. You will see, even if you're playing by yourself doing quests, you will see other players.
Okay.
And you can interact with them, or you can ignore them, because there is a quest line. One of the main things that I saw feedback was when we say there are no NPCs.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one of the big differences that we really leaned on, which is every character you see is a real person. Yeah. But there are still robots and terminals and holotapes. If you see a lot of the quests we do in Fallout 4 that are kind of this found world quest thing, we still do all of that. Okay. But then, so if you sort of picture doing those quests, or you watch someone play Fallout 4, it's like that. But then, as opposed to running into a gang of raiders, those are real players.
So there's always PvP, like you can never,
Well, first of all, I'd say we're still dialing that. Okay. We don't want it to be griefy, but we want to have some drama there. Okay. So there is a way that you can decide to do PvP, and we are currently balancing kind of the incentives for someone who wants to be very aggressive to people and those who want to ignore it. Yeah. And that really comes down to the in-game incentives and then also the social incentives. But I would say we don't want it to be griefy in any way, and we'll dial it in so people can say, look, I don't want to deal with that.
So you can pick. It's like I don't want PvP.
Well,
you want a little bit of a little fear, I guess.
We want a little bit of drama there without them ruining your game.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. A lot of people are wondering, that's obviously in an online environment. How is that going to be accomplished?
Still there.
Okay.
It's real time.
So it's real time back.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not slowing time, really?
Well, it doesn't slow time.
Right, yeah.
But it lets you target and pick parts and all of that, but it's in real time. It still works great. Yep. It's different, obviously, because it's real time. Yeah. But the basics of it, which are, well, I'm not that good of a Twitch shooter. Yep. You see some other games. What's a good reference point? I won't even mention it. People will dig into it too much. Right. But you can kind of picture how it works. Like, I'm not as good at lining up someone and getting a headshot, but I've made my character good at VATS. Oh, and now I can do that. Okay.
Do you see this as sort of, a game as a service where there's going to be content, there's going to be end-game raids? I mean, is it like, are you treating it like this, where it's sort of going to continue to evolve over time?
Absolutely. With this, there's so much in it. That's the other thing. We always do too much stuff. And there's so much in this game that once we find out, here's what the players like, or here's what they're missing and they want, since we've built a system, our plan is to be adding into the game constantly, tweaking it, and have that long-term interaction with all of our fans.
Now, the fans, I think, want to know about mods in an online environment. It's such a huge part of your games over the years, BGS. How are you going to treat the idea of mods or user content in this environment?
We love mods, and so we are 100% committed to doing that in 76 as well. Okay. We will not be able to do that at launch, though. Yep. Our goal for launch, this is really new for us, is have a well-running, robust service, and then some period later, we're currently still designing what that service looks like. You'll be able to have your own private world and be able to mod it and do all of that. We think with our games, that's where the long-term life of them really is. Yeah. That is trickier when you get into an online world, but we're definitely committed to that. Just won't be at launch.
All right, now it's a big anniversary for Fallout this year as well. Fallout 3 anniversary. You guys gonna celebrate in any way?
The Fallout anniversary? Like a remaster? Is that what you're...
Yeah, so fans want something?
We aren't right now, but you can play Fallout 3 actually on Xbox One. It plays in 4K. It's amazing. So it's still there. You can still experience it.
Exactly, because I was saying people love playing your games and playing them again, and as you joked with Skyrim Alexa, which I heard that was your idea. Someone was telling me last night that
very much. That was a joke that escalated.
But it's so fun, and now you can actually get the app on Alexa. Someone told me. Someone built that.
We didn't say it on stage, but it's actually real.
That's insane.
Because we wanted people, you'd see the commercial, you laugh, you go, hey, Alexa, play Skyrim, and then, oh shit, this is real. It's a real game.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
It was like a joke we all make too, like, whoa, what would be the funniest place to put Skyrim? and then like, oh, we should do a commercial.
You know,
we should do that. There was, no, we should really do it.
No, it is a great piece, and I love that you're sort of, you know, so self-aware about it, because it was, as you said, even though Todd is not on the internet officially on Twitter. Yeah, I was joking before. It's like, now that you're making an online game, you've got to come online. But you're reading everything, I feel like.
I do read a lot, yeah. I'm on the forums a lot. I'm on Reddit all the time. And it's great. Our fans are really the best. They give us crap for the things we do wrong when we deserve it, and they embrace us when we do great things.
Well, what I think is so exciting coming out of yesterday was that BGS, you know, sometimes you guys would go away for a number of years and disappear, and it feels like now so many projects, it's like you guys are going to be more present more often in our lives.
We would like to be, you know, even like we go away for those periods, and it's, you know, we do it because we have to, but we don't enjoy that. We'd like to have more things coming out, and these games show that.
And that's what was cool, because typically you've gone in this mode of like, we'll announce the game and ship it 6 months later, and now, you know, with some of the, especially new IP, it feels like you're gonna, are you gonna be a little more open now about sharing things on these games earlier, like something Starfield, like is it gonna be like, hey, when we talk about it again, it's gonna ship in 6 months?
I don't know. I think when we really, I still think when you really want to show a game, you know, have it come out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
What we do in between, I still think is up in the air. This is kind of like new for us to like, do what we did, so I don't want to promise anything, because I honestly don't know.
First New World, 25 years.
Yeah.
That must be exciting, though, for the whole team, right?
It's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, look, Elder Scrolls and Fallout are just amazing worlds for us to play in. But when you're doing those, you are looking back, like, how do you want to reinterpret, you know, X and Y? And then you go into Starfield and you say, okay, what is the tone of science fiction that we think is unique, that really excites us? What would we want to do in that kind of game? And then, you know, it being us, it's extremely ambitious.
And is that an idea you've had for, you know, a decade, or like how?
Yeah, absolutely.
In your head, and you just wanted to do it?
Yeah, and then you talk about it in the studio, and ideas get put on it. It massages itself through lunchtime conversations over a decade, maybe. Wow. And then we filed the trademark 5 years ago. Wow. So that's when we really, that's what our fans have, they see the trademark.
Well, that's why people have known that there was something, but always people like, you know, when are they going to announce it? What is it? And I think it's great that you say, like, hey, yeah, we're making it. We're not saying much about it, but it's like, it's something that, you know, you're obviously playing, thinking about, and we can't wait to see. I think it's great to see that we need people like you and your team building new IPs and pushing our industry forward in that way too. So it's great to see that you guys are signing up for the hard work of not only building a game, but an entire new universe.
It's the fun work. It's the best.
Todd, I got to say, it was an amazing moment last night. I didn't even know you were going to drop that much yesterday. I saw you at the hotel. I'm like, it's going to be a big day, and it's like Xbox stage, so much stuff at Bethesda.
I told you, I said, I'll be up there for a while. Like, get comfortable.
No, but it was, you know, I remember, I think it was Fallout 4, it was like, you know, it was like a 37-minute presentation that you did a couple years ago, and that was amazing. And to come back with this, and not just talk about 76, but all those other projects was incredible. So thank you so much for
a lot of work by the whole team.
Yeah, no, you have an amazing team, 3 studios, 3 cities, and we'll look forward to playing Fallout 76 November, right?
It is.
And beta sometime before that, right?
Yeah, we're still figuring out the exact timing, but it'll be before that, obviously.
Awesome. All right, well, a big year and a big couple years, I guess, ahead.
Yep.
Todd Howard. All right, thank you so much for joining us, Todd.
Thanks for having me. Great seeing you again.
We'll see you again soon. All right, now we are going to hand things off to a panel of YouTube luminaries that offers up their thoughts on everything that's coming out of the Square Enix press conference this morning and E3 so far. So let's head on outside, hear from Typical Gamer, Captain Sparkles, and Mini Lad. Guys, what's going on?
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I'm here with Mini Lad and Captain Sparkles. Square Enix just wrapped up not too long ago. What are your thoughts on it, guys?
I think, well, for me, I'm a massive Tomb Raider fan. I have been my entire life. As far as what I'm kind of looking for in the end, because obviously when it comes to E3, they show little snippets here and there. I don't really want to give too much away. I want some good story, because that's the one thing that I absolutely love about Tomb Raider. They focus a lot on gameplay, which is obviously astounding. Square Enix has nailed it every single year. But if they get the story down, because I'm always interested in the backstory with like what happened to his dad and all that kind of stuff. So for me, that's kind of what I'm looking for. As far as like you got Just Cause, Kingdom Hearts. What do you guys think about that?
Just Cause, always been a fun thing for me. I don't even go for the campaign quite as much on that. I just like to go in, open world, and kind of grapple things together and blow up as much stuff as I possibly can.
See what Rico can do.
So I'm looking forward to that. They introduced, it looked like in the trailer, some new mechanics, like adding the ability to mount these like jetpacks on cars or balloons or something like that. So that should be fun. And I don't know, maybe I'll play through the campaign a little bit more this time, but at the very least, lots of grappling things.
Of course.
They seem to add sort of like a weather mechanic or something. I don't know if you guys saw like a tornado.
Yeah,
I did, yeah.
So I think that's what got me really hyped. That sort of that weather dynamic. Not a lot of games play into that, right? And I think that's a really interesting thing that a lot of people want to see. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, as far as Just Cause, like for us, I mean, we're all content creators here. We like the derpiness. We like when things go crazy as far as grappling onto planes, things exploding. So like you're saying, having that extra element of the elements,
it adds to the chaos.
Exactly, exactly.
So we're gonna send it back to you, Jeff. Thanks.
Awesome. All right, thanks, guys. Great to have you all here at E3, and throughout the day we'll have lots of other folks from the YouTube world coming by, but we've also got some amazing games. This hour is packed with so much stuff. So it's time to talk about one of the big games that was announced yesterday at the Xbox press conference. It is the newest installment in one of the craziest action franchises out there. And joining me now from Just Cause 4 is the game director, Francesco Antolonia, and executive producer, Adam Davidson. Guys, great to have you with us. Let's talk Just Cause 4. Now, this is a franchise that I think all of us have loved over the years because it's just absolutely insane. And Avalanche, you guys have 3 games here at E3, Generation Zero, Rage 2, and Just Cause 4. So let's talk a bit about the action of this game. One thing I noticed in the trailer, it seems like there's a lot of crazy weather effects now, right? Is that going to affect the action in a big way?
Yes, I wouldn't call them indeed weather effects.
Okay.
They are actual elements in the sandbox. So you see this tornado in this trailer, and it's worth mentioning that it's not just fantastic and beautiful to look at, but it's completely physicalized.
Right.
So this means that interact with everything in the world, tearing apart bridges, bases, and whatever it's around it. And as Rico itself, your gameplay changes once you're close to it.
Wow, and that's one of the things everyone's loved about this franchise. You can sort of go anywhere, do anything, truly sort of open in terms of the action and combat. Grappling hook, will that be a big part of it again?
Yes, of course. We definitely stepped it up. It's now something that you can customize, you can modify, and as never before, it really allows you to tinker with the world and its physics.
Wow. So tell us about some of the crazy missions and environments, because one of the things, it's extreme action is the way to describe this game. What can we expect action-wise?
Well, in terms of the environments, it was very important to us in this iteration of Just Cause to bring more variety to the world. And that's not only just in the fact that we have 4 new biomes that are distinct from one another and transitions between them, but even down to the enemy types and the missions themselves are very varied in terms of the experiences. So we feel we've kind of accomplished that, what we've set out to do there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, this game, we know when it's coming out yet? 2019?
Far before that.
Oh, good.
It's an next holiday season,
When's it come out? This year? Oh, December 4th.
December 4th,
yes.
I remember that because 2 days before the Game Awards. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that yesterday.
Right in time for Christmas.
That's amazing. Well, it's very cool. And this franchise, the action and the combat has been insane. In terms of vehicles and other kind of scenarios, anything you can tease us with?
We definitely expanded there. First of all, the handling model has been completely renewed, something that we list in our players.
Yeah.
And we now have a complete new class of vehicles. Internally, jokingly, we call them the toy vehicles because they come with nice ability, again, to interact with the world. For example, say we have a vehicle that can be used as a mobile ramp to pull up stunting jumps. We have loaders, we have all sorts of things.
Cranes that can turn other objects in the environment into wrecking balls. We watched what a lot of the players were doing on YouTube and other services, and it was it was very inspiring to us. So when we set out to lay out what we wanted to build for this game, we wanted to give, both with the weapons and vehicles, but with the grappling hook itself, as many toys as possible, so that people can really go nuts and come up with stuff we never could even think of.
Yeah, no, that sort of emergent gameplay from people playing it and sort of doing crazy thing. That's part of the fun of this franchise, right? Is giving people the toys in the sandbox and see what they do. Well, it also, the Apex engine looks beautiful. It's like, I got to say, visually, I was really stunned. Even when the trailer started yesterday, I had no idea what it was. It didn't look like a traditional Just Cause, which was great. So yeah, it looks amazing, and it's great that it's coming this year. So thanks, guys, for giving us a sneak peek at Just Cause 4. We'll see more of it at E3, I'm sure.
Yeah, our pleasure.
All right, thanks guys. Great to see you. I'm going to head on over here now to visit a guy you probably saw on stage yesterday at the Bethesda press conference, the one and only Pete Hines.
How are you, sir?
Great
to see you as
Pete.
always.
How's everything? You guys recovered from the party?
A little bit, yeah.
That was fun. I was over there last night. You had a great crew, and what an amazing press conference overall, because last year you guys focused on just what was shipping last year, so I think people were like, maybe they're just going to Fallout 76, and then all of a sudden it's like, here's the entire future of Bethesda, it feels like. You guys dropped a lot of stuff last night.
Yeah, it was nice to still have some surprises in the can and to catch folks off guard a little bit. And yeah, I really liked, as I said last night, I really liked what we had to say.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, Todd revealing all that stuff. And I know you and Todd have had a really close relationship for a number of decades. Tell us about sort of the philosophy of, finally, it's a different philosophy of sort of saying, like, here's what we're doing far into the future.
It was a result of a lot of conversations, and not just Todd and I, although we do talk about it a lot, but, also folks on my team, Tracy and Aaron, who you know well, our brand teams and community teams, just talking about, hey, I think particularly when there's a Starfield trademark out there, and folks, Todd talked with you about TED 6, like, yes, it's a thing. We maybe need to set some expectations and be a little bit more upfront about, here's the cadence, here's what it's going to look like, and not give years, but to sort of just say, look, we kind of are dancing around this. Let's just say, this is what we're doing, kind of here's where we're heading, and give folks a clear idea.
Exactly. You said, like, it was, people sort of assumed that's probably what was going to happen, but when you see the 1-minute CG teaser, it just makes it that much more real.
Get to hear that Elder Scrolls music.
Exactly.
I mean, that's my 100th time. I still get goosebumps.
Exactly. It's a true tease. So that was great. But yeah, I got to say, across the press conference, a lot of interesting stuff. And even with you guys pushing in some new directions with, Fallout Online, and it feels like mobile is something that you guys are really, embracing. I think even more than a lot of other publishers, it feels like, with Blades and stuff.
Our philosophy has always been, we never are like, okay, we need X number of VR titles or mobile titles. It's more like, what are the studios about? What do they want to do? What are they excited about? When you see Todd and his team come up with something like Blades, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's the kind of thing I would love to play. I can't play anything like that on my phone. But we are driven by that as opposed to just sort of arbitrarily coming up with stuff. So it's really sort of case by case, like, what do folks want to do? Where do they want to go?
And even Fallout on Alexa, right?
Yeah, I mean, Skyrim Alexa.
Skyrim Alexa. Sorry.
Literally started out as a joke. We were like, we should just sort of have fun with the, like, what's Skyrim on next? And then it was like, actually, we could do this, and it's not like a huge deal. We should troll everybody and then actually have the troll
the fact
be a
that you
real
actually
thing.
shipped it, that was the thing. People were like, oh, it's a fun gag. It's like people were like, oh, no, wait, it actually works, which is amazing.
Look, we do this because we love games and we want to have fun, and we're pretty self-aware of our criticisms and people making jokes, and to have fun with that feels like a Bethesda thing.
Oh, that's what was great. I think everyone loved Todd last night because it's just so self-aware about everything. It's like every internet meme. It's like, even though he's not on Twitter, he's clearly reading everything. Or you're reading and telling him.
Believe me, we are absolutely aware across all of our studios and games what folks are saying and what they want.
They're tweeting DC Deacon all the time.
They are indeed.
We're going to talk about Rage 2 because we got the guys here to talk about that, so we'll leave that one behind. But I do want to talk about some of the other shooters you mentioned. Wolf, the team coming back, Youngblood. That's it was a really cool tease. I love the concept of that.
Yep.
What more can you tell us about that one?
Not a whole lot. I mean, again, it's sort of, if you liked Wolfenstein and sort of that vibe, it feels a lot like that. Again, it is a game you can play entirely single player, but because there's twins, they really wanted to do something with the two of them, so you can play single player, and she'll just be whichever twin you're playing. She'll be an AI companion. But we're like, look, why not let folks play this together if they want to, and kind of have fun with this thing? Set in Paris, it moves ahead in the timeline so they can have fun with a sort of a different story before they come back to the original storyline they've been working on.
This is obviously more of a CG thing, but we'll see more of this, I'm sure, soon, and it's coming next year?
Next year.
All right, so those guys are working hard. And then you teased the new Doom as well. Not Doom 2.
Nope.
But this is kind of a, I mean, that game was so incredible, and we know QuakeCon, they're going to kind of reveal more of that title.
A lot more, actually.
What can you tell us about that one?
Well, we didn't go Doom 2 because we were like, well, there's already a Doom, and there's like, how many times are we going to do this? I really wanted to call it Doom 5 just because I thought it'd be funny. But they really like the idea of Eternal because it does have a lot to do with like the origins of the Doom Slayer and where he comes from. You heard Hugo talk about it last night. Sort of big picture, twice as many demons. They're doing a lot with the fast, aggressive style of being the Doom Slayer, and how can we amp that up even more? As Hugo mentioned, we're teasing Hell on Earth. That's certainly going to be a part of what Doom Eternal is about. But yeah, last time we did Doom, we did a similar thing. We teased it at E3 and showed it at QuakeCon. But we only showed it to the folks there, and this time we really want to blow it out and let everybody
stream. Everyone will get to watch it.
If it's there, I got to say, it's a religious experience to be in a room at QuakeCon with passionate Doom fans. But, if you can't make it down to Dallas this August, you can watch the stream. We'll have it for everybody in the world to see what they're up to.
And I imagine, with Eternal, like some people are wondering, like, is that suggests it's going to be kind of more of a game of a service or an online thing ongoing, but it's still a more traditional sort of like single-player campaign and multiplayer?
Yeah, for sure. But look,
stuff,
we view a lot of things as a game as a service.
Yeah.
Fallout 4 and Skyrim are game as a service.
Right.
Like a game as a service just means people continue to play this thing going forward. It doesn't mean we have to fundamentally change what we're doing. It just means we need to have thoughts and plans for, the number of people who still play Doom every month is crazy. So like for them, their last Doom is still a game as a service. Like they keep playing it. What are we doing to make sure we're putting out more content so that they have more stuff to do and things to play?
Well, I got to say that Bethesda on fire, so many announcements, so much stuff, and of course Fallout 76 is going to be a big release
it's big.
In November. Well, congratulations. You guys started the press conference thing only a few years ago, and I think every up your game, and this year, I mean, the number of titles that you guys revealed. I saw on my Twitter feed you were getting a lot of A's from people on the grades.
Thanks very much.
So,
that's nice of you to say.
Congratulations, Pete. Great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us and supporting us.
Have a great
YouTube.
E3, Jeff.
Awesome. Thanks. All right, well, we're going to head on back now. Because speaking of more Bethesda, we're going to talk Rage 2 right now. You've all heard about legendary game developer id Software and their enormous contributions to the shooter genre over the past couple decades with Wolf and Doom and Quake. Well, their next shooter is a sequel born out of a collaboration with Just Cause developers Avalanche Studios that were just here as well. We're talking about Rage 2, bringing it back. You thought they were going to go back to, Doom, and they will, but they've also got Rage 2. And joining me are id Software's Tim Willits and Magnus from Avalanche. Guys, we saw you on stage last night. We saw Rage announced a couple weeks ago as a tease. And I think a lot of fans, when you guys revealed that, they didn't necessarily think you guys were going to go back to the Rage universe. But I know that was a passion project for you, Tim. It's been a number of years. I think it was back like 2010 or 11, I think, with Rage.
Yep.
So why the decision to go back?
So if you look at id Software, this is like the year of id.
Yes.
I mean, we had Wolf, Doom, Quake. Rage fits really well with the studio, with our brand, with what we want to do, and then the opportunity to work with Avalanche was like a dream come true, and it just fits so well.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did this collaboration come together with Avalanche? You guys, obviously Mad Max, people know that, and I think see some comparisons. When you played Mad Max, you're like, oh, we got to get these guys to do a Rage game?
Yeah, I've always admired the open world chaos.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a love at first sight, right?
Absolutely. From the first moment we got the chance to talk to you guys about it, it was like everything just fell in the right places from the get-go. It was super fun from day one.
Yeah, and Andrew WK, as we saw yesterday, rocking the house, and he's going to be involved in the game, right?
Yeah. So he's the voice of Ruckus.
Yes.
Which is our CE, and yes, that is a true thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely pre-order it.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. He's great to work with, and he brings the right sound for the game.
Yeah, the right energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the tech and the gameplay. You said people know id games and certainly expect fast-paced, frenetic action. What are we going to see, in Rage 2 that's going to be sort of different for an id game? Because first, Rage obviously had a little bit more of an open environment, vehicles. That was a big thing for id. You're going to continue that forward, obviously, using the Avalanche tech. Yeah.
So Rage 2 uses the Apex engine, which allows us to do true open world gameplay. Now in Rage, I'll admit we struggled with the openness of it.
Yeah.
But we're bringing true id Software combat to the world that these guys do better than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Now tell us, development we know coming next year, but I mean the frenetic action is just insane. But for you guys working on, what's an id property? I mean, there's id has such a trademark look and feel to it. Tell us, how have you put id inside of this game?
Well, to start with, we worked very close together with it. Like they have been, like Tim and I have had like weekly or almost daily calls over like video conferencing and so on. So it's been really easy to get their knowledge to us, so make it possible to just implement it in the best possible way. As you say, this characteristic style is fast, it's heavy, like heavy weapons. Use your movement as both offense and defense. So it's like just moving around is super important, as you see in these sequences. It's not a game where you can stand still, like hide in the back. You need to be active. You need to use your abilities. You need to use your guns to be able to survive.
And a lot with weapon upgrades too, right? That's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. Finding all the weapons in the game and upgrading them in different ways, both the weapons and your nanotrite abilities, and your support item as the popular wing stick you just saw there.
Wow, well, it's so cool to see id. I mean, you said it is the year of id because pretty much all the major franchises. But now Todd's up in the game with new franchises, so I guess you have to start thinking of your next big new franchise, right?
Oh, yes. You know, Todd.
But how are you splitting your time?
So I work, of course, very closely on Rage 2. You know, I'm still involved with Quake Champions. I work on studio stuff. But, Machine Games with Wolfenstein is great. Marty and Hugo with Doom is great. So we are firing on all cylinders as a studio.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's great to see Rage 2. We look forward to playing it early next year from the guys at id and Avalanche. Tim, Magnus, it's great to see you guys.
Thank
you very much.
All right. Well, a little while ago, we asked to know what you thought of the news from Square Enix's press conference earlier this morning. It wasn't really a press conference, more of a video. But anyways, let's see what you guys had to say on social media. All right, well, Square isn't the only press conference today, not by a long shot. In fact, we're right around the corner from Ubisoft's show, and we want to know your predictions, your hopes, wishes for it. So tweet us using the hashtag YouTubeE3 to let us know, and you might end up on the show. That'll be at the top of the hour. But joining me right now is another publisher, the head of one of the most successful game companies of all time. They've got a big year ahead, of course, NBA 2K, but also Red Dead Redemption 2 is poised to be one of the biggest games of the year when it releases on October 26th. Please give a warm YouTube Live at E3 welcome to the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, Strauss Zelnick. Strauss, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
So we wanted to bring you on because I think, Take-Two is one of those companies that has so many great developers and so many great teams, and you're the man that helps enable a lot of that. Studios like Rockstar, 2K, it's amazing what you've built as a company, and we wanted to talk a little bit about the history of Take-Two and also your role in sort of enabling creativity. First of all, tell us a bit about, a studio like Rockstar, a studio like Visual Concepts. What's your philosophy of how you sort of manage those studios and allow them to build the games that they build?
Well, I think we probably don't even think of words like manage and allow as part of our lexicon.
Yeah.
We all work together in service of the same goal, which is make the best entertainment on earth and engage and captivate our consumers. And what's great about working inside the four walls of our enterprise is our creative folks are encouraged to pursue their passions, actually do what they enjoy, and to push the envelope as far as they can possibly push it. And if I have a job as part of that, it's to create an environment where that's possible, to create the financial resources, the human resources, the cultural resources, and then of course when the products are delivered, to have A+ worldwide marketing and distribution.
But that doesn't happen at every publisher, and you guys have been able to figure out the secret formula to that. What does it come down to? Because sometimes games get delayed. You guys recently announced there'll be a game, I think it was moving till next year. I mean, sometimes you have to make those tough decisions. But I think you seems like you're always playing the long game.
That's the goal. The company's been around for 25 years. Our team's been around for 11 years. I've been in the video game business for longer than I care to say. I actually just ran into someone with a Crystal Dynamics t-shirt. That's my first video game company.
Back in the day, lots of great classics.
What I've found in entertainment is what always wins is quality. And quality isn't quality of earnings, it's quality of the experience. And what wins within the experience is to innovate based on the vision of the most creative people on earth. And our goal is to attract, retain, and encourage the most creative people on earth to do their work at our enterprise.
Now, you guys have a booth on the floor. Don't show a lot of games here at E3, so I think people are wondering, hey,
or
what do they have to
for example.
I was going to say,
But so we have really good espresso.
Yes, exactly. So it's a great booth. I think everyone's like, well, we want to go play Red Dead. Why don't we see more Take-Two? Why don't we see Red Dead playable or other things here at E3? Tell us about that.
There have been times when we've had booths that were very focused on letting consumers play. There are other times when we feel like our release schedule just isn't suited to that. We're thrilled about what's coming up for us this year. You mentioned our big titles, NBA 2K on September 11th, Red Dead Redemption 2 on October 26th. Of course, WWE is coming back this fall as well.
Yeah.
Plus all of our ongoing enterprises where we talk to consumers on a regular basis.
And GTA Online
right,
continues to be a phenomenon.
Right. So we're engaged with consumers every day.
Yeah.
And what we found that this show is good for engaging with press and engaging with the analyst community, with our customers, and consumers come by too, but mostly because the food is good at our booth.
Well, we were seeing a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. We couldn't let you go without asking you. I know, Rockstar will talk about it, how they want to talk about it from your perspective. I mean, what can you tell us about, your feeling on what Rockstar is doing with Red Dead 2?
It's amazing. Yeah. It's the first title built from the ground up by Rockstar for this generation. Yeah. And what's amazing is the standard bearer currently in the business, in this generation, and for the last generation, was and remains Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online. That title was, however, originally built for last gen. So I think what the palette on which the Rockstar team can now paint for Red Dead Redemption 2 offers incredible opportunity, and I think the expression of that opportunity is going to blow us all away.
October 26th, we see, and that's going to be the date. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can't wait to play it. Red Dead Redemption 2, NBA 2K. It's an incredible legacy that you've built and enabling all these amazing creative studios to build some of the best games out there.
I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work on the team.
Awesome. Well, Strauss, great to see you as
Jeff.
always. Thanks for coming on the show. We're going to head on back here now because we just got more interviews as we count down to the Ubisoft press conference. And ever since rebooting it in 2013, Tomb Raider has seen one of the most successful franchise reinventions of the past couple decades. And here to talk about the newest installment and show some real gameplay, right? We've got Rich Briggs and Daniel from the team. Guys, we saw a trailer yesterday. We got teased a few weeks ago, but we're going to get right now into Shadow of the Tomb Raiders. So what do we got, guys? We got some gameplay we're going to see?
Absolutely.
All right.
Jeff, thanks for having us on.
Great to have you guys on it, yes.
Thank you. So we've shown now what it means for Lara to have this defining moment. Yep. So just now at the Square Enix press briefing, we showed an extended gameplay, specifically focusing on a couple things. The first one was the very first scene of the game. That's literally how we drop you into the experience. Then we do a little bit of a flashback. Yeah. And then we also have Lara becoming one with the jungle.
Wow.
So this is a look at the CG trailer.
Exactly.
This was obviously what we started with. It was all about setting the tone, setting the mood. We wanted to really make sure that we let you know that, yes, Tomb Raider is back, but it's a little bit darker this time around because it's set against that backdrop of a Maya apocalypse. And Lara Croft is basically the most capable, the most calculating she's ever been before. Yeah. And she's going to need it in order to try and save the world this time.
I know stealth is going to be a big part of this, sneaking around the jungle. Daniel, from a gameplay perspective, you've had a great history of working on these Tomb Raider games. Before that, Ubisoft working on the systems and the combat. Tell us a bit about, how stealth factors into this game.
But one of the points that was very important for us is like, how can we bring, the aspect of puzzle into the combat itself when we look at the stealth? Because one of the things we did on Rise, we're bringing a lot more opportunities and options in what we call the assault, which is, getting in front and attacking the guys directly with machine guns and stuff. And the stealth was something that we want to push a lot more, and having Lara becoming the jungle, not just having her, being there and taking the guys down, but becoming the world, becoming the actual environment. And that we had to create a lot of opportunities, a lot of ingredients, that the player can use, and a lot of options for him to play the way he wants in terms of the stealth and becoming that world. And so it was very important.
And we made a couple changes too this time around. So the enemies, previously, if you ever what we call pop the bubble, they would always stay in that, okay, we know Lara's there, and you have to finish that combat in assault. So now we've actually tweaked the AI and enemy behavior so that if you pop the bubble, you go into assault, but then you go up into the canopy, you hang around in the trees, you can evade them for long enough, they'll go back into stealth. They'll be looking for you, but eventually go back to the normal routine so that you can re-engage at stealth.
Well, I got to play this a few weeks ago, and I apologize. I thought we had some gameplay we're going to show you guys. If our team can get that up, it would be great. But anyways, we wanted to talk a bit about the experience, because, I mean, this game is sort of cinematic, very visceral, and getting to play through it, you guys have really upped the ante, I think, with sort of the cinematic aspects, the puzzling, even the swimming feels like,
absolutely.
Like, across the board, it feels like all the environmental elements are even stronger in this game.
And I love to hear you say that, because that's what we absolutely were setting out to do, was every single facet of our core pillars, we wanted to evolve, and we wanted to up the ante. So obviously from the narrative, it's Lara Croft's defining moment. It's her being more conflicted, more inner turmoil than ever before. But then with the hubs, we're delivering the biggest hub that's ever been found in a Tomb Raider game. So there's more challenge tombs, more side quests, more things to do. On the traversal, we've got, you know, not just the rappelling, but the underwater swimming mechanics. So you've got survival, you've got the underwater exploration, the combat we talked about, the additions to the stealth as well as to the assault modes, making sure that Lara feels very capable and confident. And then of course on the tombs, we have more tombs. They're more than ever before. They're bigger than ever before, and absolutely scarier and deadlier than ever before.
Wow. Well, it looks incredible. It's a great-looking game. Coming soon, coming in September, right?
Absolutely. Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be available on September 14th for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Awesome. Well, I know you guys have been very faithful to reinventing Lara, the third, this trilogy, I guess, of her story. And yeah, she definitely seems a lot more badass. When we saw that trailer, I was like, oh, this is like Rambo Lara. I mean, she is definitely in the jungle, causing trouble, and we're excited. We also have a panel with you guys here at E3.
Yes.
Will Ludington, the star of Tomb Raider, will be with us, so that'll stream here on YouTube on Wednesday, I believe. There'll be a special panel, so we'll see you guys then. And thanks so much for dropping by and hanging with us.
Thanks, Jeff.
Daniel. All right. Well, when our next game launched in 2013, no one knew it would become what it is today. But 5 years later, and with over 38 million registered users, Warframe has become an underground phenomenon, even boasting its own official fan festival, TennoCon, which is up in my home country of Canada this summer, London, Ontario, and now in its third year. Excited about that. Well, joining me now to talk about the future of Warframe is Senior Community Manager at Digital Extremes, Megan Everetti. Megan, great to see you. How's everything?
I'm really excited to be here. It's my first E3 ever.
I saw you tweeting about how you were coming to hang out with me in the PC Gaming Show, and I'm like, this is exciting. So
yeah, it's very, very daunting, everything that's going on.
Well, the community around Warframe is incredible, and you guys, we've been doing things with you guys at the Game Awards the past couple of years, which has been awesome, with Rebecca on stage. And it's an exciting time because TennoCon is coming up, and you guys have been teasing the fans with some new cinematic adventures that are coming to the game. Even my Twitter feed this morning, they're like, oh, what's Megan going to drop? What's she going to share? Because you put out a teaser that was, a lot of people are asking questions, wondering what's actually going on, right?
Yeah,
with the Warframes.
And like that's the purpose, right? Is to confuse people, is what is happening here. And this is the latest in our cinematic quest. It's called The Sacrifice.
Yeah.
And it truly just continues a story that we've been telling since 2015 with The Second Dream, The War Within, and then Apostasy Prologue. So it's gonna shock people, and we announced that it was coming in June.
Yes.
And I'm allowed to say that it's actually coming this week.
This week?
This week.
Oh my God! All right, you're gonna get I'm gonna lose everyone watching the stream now because they're ready to download it. Do we know when? Just sometime this week? Stay tuned.
This week. I literally fly back tomorrow, and we gotta, you know, try and get it out. So it's gonna be a stretch, but.
Okay, so you're sort of not going to say much more, like you tease people and now they're just going to experience the content as it sort of happens because it's coming out so soon.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have to, you know, on PC first for free, obviously. So you want to download it, and it'll happen this week.
Now, I know it seems like storyline will tie into sort of the Warframes a little bit. Tell us about sort of the lore or what we're going to find out in this new cinematic.
So in the beginning with Second Dream and War Within, you really learned about kind of yourself as a Tenno and an operator.
Yeah.
And the Sacrifice is trying to answer those questions, but not answering all of them and leaving some mystery to it. And it's going to introduce a new Warframe that players have been waiting for a very long time.
Yes.
So they're going to be excited about that, but they're also going to be excited about the answers that we're trying to give them, but also more secrets.
Yes.
As we try to not tell them everything and keep them enticed. So yeah.
And also, this is a game. If you don't know, it's sort of free to play. You can play Warframe.com. You can download it, check it out. For new people that may be watching this that haven't played Warframe, is this a good time to sort of jump in now when you release the cinematic quest?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be seeing, all these things that might not make sense to you, but we have such an amazing community, and as soon as you jump in as a new player, everyone reaches out to you and wants to help you. We have a lot of people who are making even guides about how to go through the quests, as quickly as you can to, get yourself to where you need to be.
Rank up to do the new stuff,
Yeah, and to be able to play the Sacrifice as quick as you can.
Yeah.
So our community is just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's been such an amazing story. It's one of these games that, as you said, has an amazing user base. Whenever I'm at some of these conventions, it's like, the fans come out for you guys. And you did a thing last year on Twitch where we were giving a dropped during the Game Awards, and people just like went nuts.
They exploded, yeah, it was crazy.
They get so excited. You have such a powerful community, and coming this week, the internet's probably light. You're bringing the good news.
Oopsie, sorry.
And tell us about, I mean, the philosophy for Warframe moving forward. Like, this is something you've been teasing for a while, the cinematic quest. What is the roadmap? I'm sure you'll talk more about that at TennoCon. I know sort of like what the longer-term philosophy is.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about how you guys look at Warframe for the next 6 months or a year?
So we try to follow suit with kind of, last year at TennoCon we did the Plains of Eidolon reveal, which was huge, and then we had to follow up with putting that update out. So it kind of goes in a flow of, okay, we have the sacrifice, hopefully this week, and then working on what we're working to keep secret for TennoCon.
Yes.
And then, of course, getting that out and just kind of continuing the story. We're going to release our 36th Warframe this year.
Wow.
So we have a lot of stuff planned. We've been showing it on the dev stream, and now we just have to put it in action.
All right, so big news coming to TennoCon?
Big news coming to TennoCon.
Oh, wow.
A lot of secrets.
Look at that tease. Multiple secrets. All right.
Multiple secrets, yeah.
Okay, well, that's coming up this summer, right?
July 7th. It is a sold-out event, so if you wanted to come to London, Ontario, I'm sorry. But you can watch, obviously, online and participate.
Awesome. All right. Well, again, it's great to see Warframe as this ongoing community, ongoing service, and you guys at DE have done a great job satisfying those fans. That's why they love you for it. So, Megan, thanks for coming on the live show.
Yes, thank you.
Have a great E3. We'll see you soon. All right. Well, now we're going to head on over here. Dotnod, the studio behind Life is Strange, Remember Me, and the recent Vampire has quickly become an iconic developer with a string of memorable titles. Well, today, we're joined by one of the co-creative directors of Dotnod's next game, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. We saw that revealed yesterday at the press conference, which was pretty crazy. And it looks like I'm here with Michelle Coe. Michelle, how are you? Great to see you.
Good to see you.
How's
how
everything? I'm doing very well. Well, I think people were, the title by itself, I think, just sort of took people by storm because it's, they were like, hey, Life is Strange. So how does this tie into the Life is Strange universe?
Thank you for having me here today. So yeah, we are really excited that we've been able to present Captain Spirit at this E3.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the past 2 years, we've been working on Life is Strange 2 for Square Enix. And Captain Spirit is the perfect entry point into the Life is Strange 2 universe and setting, because the game takes place in the same setting, timeline, and universe as Life is Strange 2. So Captain Spirit is a completely free standalone game.
Wow.
So it's completely free on Xbox, PS4, and PC. And it will be the perfect way for the players to start to discover what Life is Strange 2 will be.
So would you say it's like a demo, or how would you describe what it is?
It's really a complete game. It's a complete experience where you will meet.
How many hours?
Characters.
Like, is it like
it's somewhere around 2 hours of gameplay, but there is a lot of hidden secrets of replay value. The way we've designed the game is like some sort of treasure box where you can really play the game in a lot of different ways and experience the story of Chris. And while doing that, the player will be able to discover secrets linked to what Life is Strange 2 will be.
Okay.
Even some of the choices you make in Captain Spirit will have consequences in Life is Strange 2.
Okay. So this is sort of like a standalone, I don't know if you call it prequel, or it's not really?
I would really say just a standalone game in the universe of Life is Strange 2.
Okay. It's coming out later this month, right?
So it's coming in 2 weeks, the 26th of June.
Okay.
And yeah, we really can't wait for the player to experience this story of Chris, which basically is a game about a young kid, quite lonely, who just is free to spend his Saturday morning the way he wants to do. And since he's a kid with a vivid imagination, there is a lot of imaginary worlds you can find within this morning. It's basically a game about how you escape the reality by using your imagination to brighten a quite dark reality.
Wow. So what can you tell us about Life is Strange 2? When will we find out more about that?
So unfortunately, I cannot say anything about Life is Strange 2.
Okay, but it is happening?
It is happening, and you will hear more about it in the couple of months. But
and are you thinking it's going to be sort of episodic, come out, you know?
And I even cannot say that at all. They don't allow me to talk about Life is Strange 2.
Okay, we have to talk all Captain Spirit.
Exactly.
All right, well, I'm going to say, when I saw the title, I'm like, what is this? And then it's like, it's so cool that you guys have always been innovating, I think, with the approach to the Life is Strange series, and it's such a memorable, story, and you guys, it's just, it deals with a lot of emotions and feelings that I think, we all have, and it's great to see games that, tap into that, and you guys at Dotnod have done a great job with the franchise, and we can't wait to see where you go with Life
Thank
is
you
Strange
so much.
too. So, Michelle, great to see you.
Thanks so much.
Have a great E3.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming by.
You too. Thank you.
We're going to head on back here now because we're getting ready for the Ubisoft press conference. And with the show about to start, we have answers to some of the predictions of what Ubisoft might reveal this year at their press conference. They have an amazing press conference, and we're, looks like, oh wow, about only 5 minutes out to the Ubisoft press conference. So with that being the case, I want to hear some last-minute predictions from an awesome all-star panel of esteemed guests. And joining me right now is Polygon News editor Allegra Frank, Mega64's Rocco, and returning guests, typical gamer, and Angry Joe. What's going on, guys? All right, so we only got 4 minutes, so it's going to be rapid fire here. So what do you guys want to see from Ubisoft today?
Beyond
Andre?
Good and Evil 2, man. I saw this gameplay video on the internet, right? So everybody's seen that trailer that is amazing looking, right? Yep. And it's, you can't possibly be that cool. But there's an actual gameplay video. It says E3 2017, where he was showing a ship and a small ship coming out of another ship. Then the monkey flies around. Then the monkey goes on top of a statue. He zooms out, and you see the whole world. You go into outer space, and there's planets, and I'm like, what?
Joe's fired up. All right. What? So BG&E 2. Rocco, what do you want to see?
My favorite E3 presentation they ever did was 2010 when they did the laser tag thing. So I'm kind of hoping we've had enough. You know, I feel like E3 is really corporate this year, and I feel like they should just scale back on the games and just do, you know, just have fun. Turn off the video games, put some inflatables on stage, and just
pool party.
You know, yeah, it doesn't even have to involve water. Just, you know, everyone's having fun. No more, you know, we spend enough time on Assassin's Creed and Beyond Two Souls. I've heard enough. I just want to see some fun, you know?
All right, well, we'll see, Rocco. Hopefully they can deliver for you. Allegra, what do you want to see from Ubisoft?
I think that's a very good
prediction.
But something that I've been thinking about for a while is that game Wilds. I know that Michel Ancel's been working on Beyond Good and Evil, and so it's really exciting to see games like that kind of eke their way out until they're actually released. But Wild we haven't seen since I think 2015. So
yeah, that was a
cool.
Gamescom 2015. They had one reveal trailer, beautiful animals, and yeah, and I don't know what's up with that game. Could come back.
That would be really cool.
That's a great idea, because I think Ubisoft, you know, they're the one publisher that consistently every year usually has that like one more thing surprise game that you're not predicting. Some people want to see Splinter Cell come back. That's certainly been highly requested. And there was a Michael Ironside came back and did sort of a DLC for Ghost Recon Wildlands that like people predicted like, oh, might he be back as Sam Fisher? So that could be pretty big. Andre, what do you think?
It might be cliche, but I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah?
I mean, when they showed the whole Spartan kick thing with the little preview, that got me hyped up.
300,
right?
you see?
They got me hyped up, and they've been moving a little bit, you know, with the last one into more of a different sort of combat style. Yeah. And I think that they're going to take that to the next level this year and maybe show something that a lot of people are hoping for.
That's right, because they, you know, some people were wondering were they going to make it annualized again, and sounds like they are, at least this year, going to bring that out. That'll be a big game. We saw a little bit of Division 2 yesterday, which looked pretty good in the Xbox press conference.
Beanies are back. My beanie pom-poms.
So there'll be that, and I think, you know, they've also got, I think with Ubisoft last year, they had a lot of games they announced. So they announced Skull and Bones. They talked about Starlink. They've got that VR project with Elijah Wood, Transference. We're going to do a panel with him tomorrow on that. So they've got a lot of games. So it'll be interesting to see, like, how much they focus on for this year and what the future is.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like enough. Like, how many games can you have? You know, like, okay, you're working on a bunch of games. Let's have some fun. Just Dance got like a minute of time last year.
I said last year they had Just Dance with BB Rexa performing, so there's always the crazy Just Dance performance.
Right.
So who would you like to see perform this year?
Let's get Gangnam Style. Let's do Harlem Shake. Let's get nuts.
Exactly.
For crying out loud.
There's always something kooky with Ubisoft, but we'll see.
You know, let's hope.
More rabbits.
I don't know. We don't need the rabbits. Let's do Harlem Shake. Let's do the mannequin challenge. Let's do the ice bucket challenge.
You got to go back a few years.
To go back to 2014.
Bring it back to the ice bucket.
Do it. Like, let's, you know, let's just have some fun.
Let's
no
bring
more
back
corporate
all right.
stuff.
Well, we are about a minute away from all things Ubisoft to see if Rocco's predictions come live. We do know we're going to see Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Pretty good chance we'll see a live gameplay demo of that, I think. Probably more on the Division 2. And then I think there's also chat that we would hopefully hear more on Skull and Bones and some of the other titles that they revealed last year. But there could be that one more thing. So what do you want that one more thing to be? Andre?
Maybe something completely new, right? That'd be
new
fun.
IP?
Yeah.
I think that would be good. Yeah, a new IP completely blow people out of the water. Something that maybe new IP that comes back every year, that it's so good, you know?
No, and that's the thing is, you know, I always like Watch Dogs. That's been, you know, been a couple years since they've done a Watch Dogs.
Battle Royale Watch Dogs, that's it. Battle
I
Royale
feel
everything.
Like Ubisoft is a company that I feel like they have to have something Battle Royale.
They have to, at least one thing.
Or something. It's like they're a big enough publisher that's going to be required. All right, well, it looks like we're getting ready to go to the Ubisoft press conference. Yves Guillemot, the CEO, will be live with us after the briefing. We'll have reactions from you guys. A lot of the developers from the games will be coming by to sort of share their thoughts and extended looks at these titles. So we've got a big day, and then leading up to the PlayStation press conference tonight, that's going to be happening as well. So take a look here, Ubisoft Live.
Thank you for joining us here in the theater and online at home. We cannot wait to show you what we have today, and I can promise you it's more interesting than a keychain. Oh. Too soon, maybe? Too soon? I don't know, up in the balcony, are you guys ready? Yes!
Down on the main floor, you guys are ready!
Let's go, players! All right, everybody. Everybody at home, are you ready? Yes. Yes, we're just gonna assume that they're ready.
Well, if you're ready for the biggest biggest show in gaming, then let's start the show.
Let's do it!
Let's do it!
you hear me?
Roger, Uma.
Half the crew is dead drunk in my sick bay. After eating your miraculous space chili. Any thoughts?
Well, I have no idea what you mean. Our food is healthy. Invigorating.
Captain to crew. Dead monkey in the crow's nest. I repeat, monkey down. Else space chili strikes again.
Copy that, Captain. Hey, Paige, bet we could use your space chili to overclock our engines.
Negativo, mi amor. Only you can melt my circuits.